If you've been on Roblox as long as I have, then the name Happy Home should stand out to you, which was basically when you created a new game, it defaulted to Happy Home. But what's the history of Happy Home? How did it start? When did it end? Well, let's take a look at the history of Happy Home. Starting in 2007, the Happy Home had the focus on this really nice house, which you'll quickly become accustomed to. The house is built up out of bricks, showing the player what you can do with some simple building designs. Over here, we have a slide and a seesaw showing off Roblox hinges, and while the seesaw doesn't quite work as it used to due to modern physics, I'd say it probably works better, even though I don't like the new physics engine, which we'll get to in a little bit. And over here, you get some building blocks. Happy Home came with 3 tools you could use: copy tool, a move tool, and a delete tool. This inspired players to use creativity with their friends to build things with these blocks. Roblox truly focused on showing players that they can build with blocks whatever they can imagine, which is really what Roblox used to be all about. The 2008 map is pretty much the same except for a few signs telling you how to add items in Roblox Studio, such as furniture to the house or even rocket launchers to enhance your destructive experience. But the rest of the game is the exact same except for those, still coming with the tools to promote creativity. 2009 is the exact same as 2008 except for some snow. That's it. And by snow, I just mean a white base plate instead of green. That's it. All 3 of these different versions of Happy Home came with the 3 tools mentioned before, and sadly in future versions they'd get removed. Roblox was heavily pushing the aspect that you don't just need to play games, but you can create your own. Not necessarily forcing creativity, but showing players how easy it truly was. If only it stayed that way, huh? Next, we head to 2010, which is the Happy Home I and many others are all too familiar with. It spawns you in front of the classic house we know and have loved since 2007, but there's a whole big world to explore. In front of the house is a car with instructions on how to drive it with the arrow keys and a space bar to jump. This car is classic and truly was advanced for Roblox's time. You can drive around Happy Home exploring, finding new cars, buildings, and secrets. The cars range from giant 6-wheeled beasts to high-speed racers to these funky guys that I never really liked because they controlled funny even back in the day because they had ball wheels. And last, you get the best car, this big guy, because the front plate will destroy any cars it runs into, and that was super fun to get when you were playing with friends. Sadly, the physics with these old cars isn't what it used to be with the new engine, so they drive kinda strangely and slide around a lot, if they even work at all due to the collision and friction which was added in years later. One secret that was always fun to boast about was in this mountain. Go around in the tunnel and find an elevator taking you to the very top of the map to look over everything. This was truly an amazing place, and I have fond memories playing on this map with friends as a kid. Over by the funky cars you have a lighthouse, which is the second tallest place in the game besides the mountain. This design fascinated me, something made so complicated and yet with just bricks, it was amazing. Going down through the tunnel behind the red bridge, you get through the jump, which you can choose 2 cars and attempt to make the jump across the river back to your Happy Home. If you fail, you'll get swept away in the river until you get thrown off the world and respawn. Finally, behind the Happy Home itself, you have the classic building bricks from the previous 3 years. You have no tools to build with, but if you went into Roblox Studio, it would give you those same building abilities. That idea of creativity was still there, but this world sadly was the end of an era, because Roblox's image and philosophy was changing, and with that, Happy Home would show off the new Roblox. 2011 was the first of the changes which show what modern Roblox has become. But first, a little background on 2011 building. Roblox introduced the stamp tool, which was popular in games such as Welcome to Roblox Building, which allowed you to place down cubic blocks and decorations, taking the former building tool, dumbing it down to a Minecraft-styled building system where everything is cubic. Now that I got that out of the way, we head over to Happy Home 2011, where the house has been updated to be made out of the stamp tool blocks. You'll notice things look different but we'll get there. The house is furnished and spacious, all with furniture from the stamp tool. Go out back and you'll find 2 cars, neither of which work very well due to the physics engine, so driving them around was a pain to record this, believe me. The cars are going after a more realistic look and are much smaller. I don't really mind it, but the old cars looked like something that you could make on your own in a minute. This one has more complex shapes that may take a few tries to perfect. Driving around the world, you'll notice it's very empty. Less, more spread out trees, the creative designed cars replaced with school buses and pickup trucks. The secret base is still here on the mountain, but if you jump off the edge, you'll find a more secret base. The building design is also made with the stamp tool, but inside is a UFO. And I'll take this just to show you the world easier because 1, the cars don't work too well, and 2, so you can really see from high up how empty this world is. We have a new lighthouse, which is fine. It's smaller than the other one, but a lot more realistic looking. Over at the jump, you have an F1 car, which is fun to make the jump with since it's really the only car from this era that still works properly. And here we are, back at Happy Home. You can also see all the old building blocks are gone, replaced with the simplistic stamp tool building concept they were pushing for. But the map is ultimately the same, so at least they kept that around for a little while longer, even if it feels less fun. But if you think this has gotten low, then let's head over to the last ever Happy Home, the 2012 edition. Time for a little more backstory here. Alongside the stamp tool, Roblox introduced terrain, which was an adaptable terrain which came in different skins, but worked pretty much like Minecraft blocks. However, it was like building with dirt or sand blocks. They also introduced water blocks, which had buoyancy to them, in an attempt to draw in a Minecraft audience. Terrain used to be very blocky, but the modern version, after it was removed for some time, is much smoother. And spawning in, you already see an issue here, I'm sure. It's nothing but green blobs everywhere. The same yellow house is here, the car that doesn't work, and well, that's really it. You can drive, or in my case, walk, to the secret base, but there isn't even a UFO there. There's nothing here that inspires me to build with the stamp tool or the terrain tool. It's just a plain, lumpy green map. And that is how we end the Happy Home history. We went from this to this. In my opinion, it's a bit sad to see how far it's fallen with the introduction to new players. But what do you think? Which Happy Home is your favorite? Do you even think Happy Home should have gone, or do you think it's better the way it is now? Let me know down below, and thanks for watching.